Hey YouTube, it's Leah Lauder, your favorite mega church survivor, and I'm very tired. I'm live on TikTok. Oh, Missy HM, look at that. I just went on live as you came on. It's a sign because I said I'm tired today. I can't. All right, I'm going live on Instagram, guys. It's going to be a quick one. Hey Instagram, it's your favorite mega church cult survivor, Leah. I'm back. I had a little nap, man. I've just been feeling so drained and tired. And I'm going through a bit of like an ascension. It's crazy right now, man. I just feel like I'm not really eating much. Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of really just focusing on my spirituality, my nervous system, spending a lot of time in the stillness of God. Now, I want to let everybody know I came to the realization that I was in a cult during the pandemic, and I've been speaking about it for about almost 2 years now. And now, like, the movement's growing quite big, and there's a lot of survivors that the content resonates with, and that have come forward to speak and share their truth. So what I wanted to talk about today, there's a lot I want to talk about today, Chair. All right, let's talk about the move into liberation, because hey, Layla Speaks, guys, please like the live. In the first part, I was kind of talking about trauma and why we're feeling the way we're feeling, and that we're moving into this new season, etc. But there was a part in the live that really spoke to me, and it was a theoretical concept that I've coined, because as you know, I'm writing my book. It's coming out in March 2026, and that is trauma withdrawal, the neurosystem purge. So what we're going through right now is like we've walked away from the systems, and now we're like, like it's like life is like a vacuum. So that cult was taking up all your time. It was helping you with your mental health because you had somewhere to go. And now that you've stopped and you're starting to heal and you're looking at self, you're sitting with self, what happens is there's that trauma withdrawal, and then there's the purge. Welcome, trolls. When that, it's not working anymore, is it? Unfortunately, it's not working, a little reporting, is it? No, it doesn't work anymore, does it? Okay, the collective theory. So this is a collective theory that I've put basically in my book. I'm going to say that we've done this together, because it was a survivor that said the trauma. It's like she said it anyway, and then I came up with the theory. So within the survivor collective, we've begun to identify a pattern where many of us experience during deep healing. It's called trauma withdrawal. We've coined this as a collective to show the neurosystem purge theory. It describes how, after leaving a high control system, your nervous system begins an involuntary process of releasing trauma, almost like a detox. The symptoms can feel chaotic, overwhelming, and sometimes indistinguishable from a relapse, but it is in fact a healing phenomenon. So guys, through this collective, we're able to solve phenomenons. Have I got any mods on? After deconstructing, you realize you can't just sit in the pain. You must build your life. Yeah, you're absolutely right, babe. I can't see the comments, guys. Why? I don't know why I can't see the comments, but you're absolutely right. And this is why I keep saying, like, we have to take the active steps to help ourselves now, because like in these cults, it was just doing what the guy said. Guys, is the comment section working? 1 second. Sorry, YouTube. So hey, YouTube. Sorry, guys. Let me just go back to the live. Sorry, guys. Something crazy was going on with the comments. Can you not hear me on TikTok? TikTok, can you guys hear me in the comments? Do I have to restart the live? I can't see no comments coming up. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. It's a bit slow. Yeah, you do have to rebuild your life from scratch. And that's it. That's the part that kind of turns people mad, and people can't process it and focus, because it's like, when I was in the cult, I woke up one day and I was like 32 with 2 kids and a husband that I've been married to for a year. It's like you wake up out of this spell. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like a spell. And when you wake up out of it, it's like the aftermath of being in this high control group. And it's absolutely, the impact is absolutely devastating. All right, so let's look at the nervous system in cult survivors. Survivors of church cults often experience hypervigilance, chronic anxiety, disassociation, somatic memory of abuse, obsessive guilt or shame. And the obsession in the guilt is something that's a reoccurring pattern in survivors that I keep hearing. Your body learned to split attention, override fear, and suppress emotion to survive psychological control, manipulation, and abuse. These systems are highly neurologically conditioned, often wired into the gut, spine, and limbic system. Guys, please like up the live. It's absolutely integral. Where the less people that there are on the live, the more, because they're so desperate and so weird in there that, like, my cult leader would allocate someone and that's their life, just sitting down waiting all day for me to come on live. Could you imagine that's your life? And they're actually happy that they've been chosen to do that, to be a snitch and be sitting there wasting their life sitting down watching me on TikTok. Like, that's the depth of how weird these people are. And as they're on here sitting here reporting me, they can't even see that that's absolute madness. It's insanity. They've got, imagine you're sitting in your yard, you're broke. I know you ain't got money like that. But instead of using that time to look at how you can hustle, how you can make money for yourself, everything's about the cult. So you would waste your time and energy that you could never get back in your life by sitting on here reporting my live in the hope that it's going to look off for your cult leader. And you're going to tell us that you're not in religious psychosis. That's how you're going to spend your time. All right, babes. Another thing I want to say is, because everything's about money, status, positions, titles, all of that, what happens is you miss, like, like things like energy, time. That's what's expensive. That's the currency of the universe. But they don't want you to do it because they siphon you off all your energy and then they teeth from you. So they get you to buy invisible blessings. So they're just rinsing us dry. We're literal laves. They're like vampires, yeah, and they're just sucking the blood out of us, and they're just keeping us like we're almost unalived, and they're just keeping us in that state to just harvest and siphon all of that blood that keeps them alive. That's literally what it's like. So trauma withdrawal, the purge begins. When you leave, your nervous system is no longer needed to maintain survival in that environment, because your nervous system's overworking all your organs, everything. That's why we get chronic diseases, autoimmune diseases, cancers, etc. It's all from the cult. So if you've experienced any type of chronic illness, epileptic fits, anything like that during the time that you were in the cult, your nervous system was just overloaded. And that's why that happened to you. And this is a thing that I need survivors, you need to accept that it was the cult that literally dysregulated your nervous system. And the reason you have chronic health issues or you're disabled today is because of the cult. Once you can start to unpack that, it will like get rid of the guilt and shame. So please. The collective observes that during deep healing, your body begins releasing stored trauma energy. You may experience physical sensations, nausea, gut unrest, muscle tension, headache, sudden fatigue. So it's like aches and pains in your body that you can't explain. It's because the nervous system is purging, okay? It's perfectly normal. Emotional waves emerge: rage, grief, terror, deep sadness, guilt. Cognitive shifts occur, intrusive memories, disassociation, flashbacks. That's why I said almost all survivors from a church cult will have PTSD or CPTSD. It's the constant flashbacks, or clarity surges. Guys, let me just get my water quickly because I'm sitting here, I'm just dehydrated. Yeah. In case you're wondering, this is bleach that fell on my robe, but it's expensive, so I still wear it. I'm in a blood clock here. It just shows that your girl's doing cleaning her yard. I'm not dirty. Let me get back to it, guys. Oh, I just woke up, and jumped on the line. This is not regression. It's your system detoxifying the patterns of oppression. Official posture vibes in the cup. Think of it as withdrawal from a high toxicity emotional environment. The system that allowed survival is now unraveling safely, but it can feel like chaos because they've programmed us to be in fight or flight mode, hyper vigilant. When the pastor calls, you have to go. We have to win souls. They have to put you in that state. Yeah. The gut brain connection. Let's look at it. Your gut acts as a secondary brain and trauma storage. High control environments suppress normal gut signaling. Jesus Christ. That's the intuition, in it, the gut. Like when you get that vibe, because they don't want you to be in touch with your intuition, your gut, because then you're going to see that they're liars and thieves and they're EVIL. Like you get that vibe, oh, I'm not sure about that guy. But when you're in there, you learn to just ignore the voice in your head that's been protecting you from a child before you even got there. But because they're very good salesmen and there's a lot of showmanship in there, it's a circus, it's a joke. So when you're young, you kind of see it as spectacular, it's all shiny. During trauma withdrawal, your body digests what was stored in fear and shame. Physical symptoms like bowel shifts, appetite changes, or nausea occur. This is your gut literally releasing the trauma. So this is what's happening to me at the moment. I can't really eat. So if you see me disappear into a size 4, it is because I am going through a purging of my neurosystem, a complete cleanse, and just like a washout. And the way that they fast in these church cults is wrong as well. It's done like as a corporate thing. Again, God doesn't honor these things. There's that scripture that talks about, when you pray, go, in a room where no one can see you and then anoint your head with oil. So no one knows that you've been fasting and praying. They just don't understand the hidden meanings, because everything's about money and they're EVIL. So they're looking at it from a narcissist's mind. Do you understand? So that's why there's been an infiltration in the church. And unfortunately, young people and children are at risk. The gut, spine, thanks for the follow, and limbic system are the primary arenas of cult-induced trauma. Healing is literally gutting it out. So guys, now that you know this, look at cleansing out your gut. Drink a lot of water. I've been doing a lot of this without realizing, like the lives have don't take all drinks out of your diet. When you go out to eat and you go out to get takeaway, then treat yourself to a fizzy drink. That's what I do. But in your home, just have water. Herbal teas, honey and lemon. Like we've got to release all of this trauma, because we were also eating a lot of human fecal matter, grabbing a KFC, grabbing chicken and chips, not really eating properly. It's just messed us up. Listen, a life with Christ is beautiful. If you don't believe and you're an atheist, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Just say a life with self. Just put self there, is beautiful. But for me, I've held on to Christ, yeah. And I'm going to be going into some esoteric, hidden gnosis meanings of revelations that I've received about Christ's teaching. Because the first book that's going to come out is going to be like just the book for survivors. It's going to be like a go-to manual and guide. The second book I'm going to bring out is going to be the hidden teachings of Christ. That's what I'm going to do, because I want to create an alternative on, personal relationship with Jesus Christ and what the parables actually meant. Because these fake mogs and these fake pastors and whatever, they've sold, like, it's to get invisible blessings. It's from the ego realm of the soul. So I want to come and put this book into the hemisphere where I'm actually revealing the hidden truths of why Christ did the things he did. And what I'm going to share with you as an exclusive, it's an exclusive book in my chapter, I'm going to be sharing with you. So stick around if you're interested in the hidden meanings of Christ. When he went to the desert and he was tempted for 40 days and 40 nights, I've got a revelation and interpretation of it. So I'm going to share that with you. Let's look at the psychological dimensions. From a cult psychology perspective, this aligns with neuroscientific repatterning. Hey, Black Girl Mind. The nervous system reconfigures once external control ends. So that's why, they say to you, you have to cut off the narcissist, you have to go no contact. That's because the neurosystem starts to reconfigure once the external control ends. So they're controlling. You've got to just go no contact with a narcissist. And these men of God are narcissists, okay? Trauma bonding reversal. Survivor disengages from loyalty loops, allowing emotional freedom. So we're moving from loyalty, obedience, subservience into emotional freedom. But you've got listen, it's like when you're in an abusive relationship, you don't just jump into a relationship, another one, because then you'll go from a narcissist to a psychopath like me. You have to give yourself time to heal. Same with church cults. If you come out of Caris 2 months and then you start going to Potter's house, that's why people start church cult hopping. Like a toxic relationship, you got to give yourself at least a year. And if you can't stay away from a church for at least a year, then it's a DRUG, it's an addiction. And that's why you got to wean yourself off it. You got to learn to survive without an institution, without a system, without a pastor telling you what to do. Come on, man. Find Christ. Grow up. Identity reclamation. As control dissolves, the ego recalibrates and integrates suppressed aspects. When you wake up and Christ reveals to you about the religious matrix, yeah, that's like, oh, I've lost it. Okay, traumatic memories resurface and neurologically updated in safety. So now, as you're deconstructing, the reason why you need to deconstruct and have all the cult psycho-ed and know the trauma theory and all of that is because when the traumatic memories now resurface, you have names to put to that. Like, that was coercive control. I regret being in this, blah, 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 blah. So you see how it updates safely. Yeah. And please, if you have any questions on YouTube, if you have any questions on TikTok, just let me know, because this is interactive. This is why survivors feel messy, overwhelmed, and chaotic. The system is reorganizing. So your neurosystem is reorganizing, it's recalibrating. Yeah. And that feels messy. That's healing. That's when we talk about healing, we're talking about the neurosystem. Do you get it? So the metaphysical layer, collectively, survivors know an energetic purge that mirrors the nervous system release. Okay. So stored spiritual energy or personal essence previously siphoned by the cult is reclaimed. So that's where you were given all your time, all your everything. It's like unknotting, which is messy by nature. Yeah, unknotting, untangling. And then it's also about like unpacking the scriptures. That was the hardest part for me, like the part, what was real and what wasn't real. And for me, it was just so overwhelming. How I didn't lose my mind, only God knows. Emotions, thoughts, and memories act like energetic toxins expelled through the body and mind. Do you see how deep this is? Isn't it just easier to say the devil is a liar, give your life to Jesus Christ? Because they're not educated, and they don't have to be. That's why a lot of these girls are just DUMB, like, no, they're not educated. There's no knowledge. And they just come and sit with the canon Bible and with their internalized misogyny and just further perpetuate these very dangerous schools of thoughts into our society because they want to put a ring on their finger and get their back blown out. Please, can you repeat the toxin point? Oh yeah, of course, I'd love to. Emotions, thoughts, and memories act like energetic toxins expelled through the body and mind. I'm going to say that one more time. Emotions, thoughts, and memories act like energetic toxins expelled through the body and mind. So when we're getting the negative ones, can you see it's just toxicity that's pumping around our body, and then the organs are shutting down. That's why I've only got one adrenal gland. The adrenals, I think they're just below the kidney, and they produce cortisol to help you deal with stress. It's a tiny organ. I didn't even know it existed. But because I was in fight or flight constantly, hypervigilance, being in this cult for 18 years, not realizing that this was impacting on my health, I was getting abused and I didn't even know it. Because I didn't think that the people, the pastors, the monks, the people that were leading me to heaven, I didn't think that they would be abusing me. Like, does it make any sense? I know mine is fried, boy. Oh yeah, so's mine. And this is why I had to wake up and see, like, I think that God, this is my purpose. And I think God has like preserved my mind in some crazy way. I don't know how God has done it, because I shouldn't have this clarity of mind. There's absolutely no way. It's a miracle. That's the guys, how we're still breathing and living. It's a miracle. And that's how we have to start seeing ourselves, like God's gift miracle. Because they've brought us down. They've beaten down our confidence, our self-esteem. They've broken us down, and part of the healing is you building yourself back up, as someone said. Do you get what I'm saying? To get your power back. Dreams, night sweats, or emotional surges are psychic detox symptoms. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Night sweat, because I was sweating. I thought it was. Oh my God, you see, that's the thing. Oh my God, when I was getting the night sweats and I was exposing NGRM, I thought it was witchcraft. Guys, I was sending stuff their way. I was speaking things over. But do you see, it's just for lack of knowledge, our people perish. I'm wasting energy and time. You know, like how when they're in church, Shabaya, oh, the enemies will be destroyed. God's not even listening to it. They're just clanging cymbals. It's loud, it's noisy. If when we hear it, when we come out of the self-sealing system, we're on the outside looking in now, and we're hearing this human fecal matter. It sounds like noise. You know, when you hear healing that, you can't be around these low vibrational stuff. Yeah. So imagine God. Do you think God's going to be sitting there listening to that human fecal matter for hours? Come on, man. It just don't make no sense. The metaphysical concept aligns with chi, prana, or life force being rebalanced after long-term energy exploitation. Praying in tongues is nothing. That's what someone put on YouTube. Praying in tongues is nothing. I agree. It does absolutely nothing. And I'm going to do a whole chapter on tongues. It's a psychological response to trauma. So when we pray in the tongues, we feel like we're doing something. We feel like, you know, our family member that's unalive and on life support, you know, we're speaking to God in this unknown tongue. The devil can't hear us. You know, it's an angelic tongue, and you know, God, it's for the it's psychology. Don't you get it? Like, you do the tongues. Like me, for example, when I'm going somewhere, like say like I feel like someone nearly crashed my car on the motorway. I start going Shabaya Sataya Baba Shataya. Like I just start doing it. Like it's like for comfort. It doesn't work. It's human fecal matter. Don't you get that? The tongues is real, but the tongues that they do in these spaces, it's human fecal matter. It says, let there be two people. Someone has to interpret it. And when you look at the tongues, they've turned very spiritual, sacred things into cheap McDonald's meals. Do you understand what I'm saying? You see, like how the government makes us buy genetically modified food and then makes all the natural produce that is really good for our body. That's our birthright. They make it so expensive, like Manuka honey and that. That's what they've done. That's what they've done. This guy's funny. He said, let's quote it again. Praying in tongues is nothing. That is so funny. It's absolute. You know what? I'm going to put that in the book. I'm going to quote you. It's like thin air. It's thin air. It's human fecal matter. It's rubbish. That's what it is. The real tongues is quoted a couple of times in the Bible. You got it in the Acts in the upper room. Then Jesus uses it as an example to expose the Pharisees, saying that they're doing it for attention. And then we've got Hannah. We've got Hannah that was crying out to God in the unknown tongues. And that is how real tongues come out. When you're seeking for God, like you're crying out to God and it overtakes you. It's a supernatural phenomenon. It overtakes you. And it's like you're muttering yearnings and muttering yearnings that are too much for the spirit. Your body, you haven't got the words. Your spirit is lost for words, and it starts to pour out like a river. It's not now everybody's speaking tongues. Shabaya Satokoya, Shitaya Sotoya. Is that what you want, Nana? Is that what you want, Nana? Shokaya. It's ridiculous. It's barbaric. It's animalistic. It's wrong. It's from the DEVIL. It makes no sense. It makes us look like animals. Do you not understand? And it's all of us in the BLK church doing it. Why? Because you're DUMB. Why? Because the YT colonialists stole everything. Not only our gold and lead and whatever, but our African cosmology, Nana. That's why you're sitting there like a DUMB poor guy from Ghana, sitting there like, oh, we're supposed to pray in English. You're DUMB, bruv. Do you not understand it? They stole our cosmology. They stole our mindset. They made us DUMB, made us slaves. We're still slaves now. Are you mad? And you're sitting there thinking you're doing your big one. Nah, man. Nah. They took too much. And it ends with our generation. Oh, okay, sorry. He said he agrees with me. Oh, sorry, babe. You know, I just get so passionate. Love you, Nana. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other nanas that go to First Love. Oh, hey, Patty. Oh, Paris mod today, just in case, because, you know, sometimes they get active. I'm so sorry, Nana. You know I love you. Nana's fine anyway. Nana, you lot love me because you know I've got so many issues with the trauma, and I know you guys will just allow me because you know, like, I'm just mentally, guys, it's just a miracle I'm sitting here. I don't even know how I'm doing it, Chair. And as I said to you, I don't want to hear no one saying, oh, Leah, you're losing so much weight, you're disappearing. Yes, I'm in the desert, 40 days and 40 nights, babes. That's what I'm in. That's what I'm on. I'm not thinking about eating. I'm in the presence of God. I'm getting spiritual downloads from my book. I'm not thinking about eating. Man cannot live off bread and bread alone. All right. So understanding these symptoms as healing rather than pathology is key for survivors. Thank you, Perry. I appreciate you, goddess. Practical implications for healing. So self-compassion, being kind to self, recognize withdrawal symptoms as natural purging, not failure. So that's why I said, have your water, have your herbal teas, have your, you can, even with herbal teas, what you can do is once they cool down, you can put them in the fridge and have them as like a cold drink with ice. If you prefer cold drinks, you might not be a warm drinking person. You can also mix like milk and honey with a little bit of cinnamon, put some ice in it. Look up like protein, like things that's good for your body. Do you understand what I'm saying? And feed your body with it as it's going through this purge. Safe containment, create a secure environment for your nervous system to release safely. Grounding practices, breath work, gentle movement, mindfulness, and somatic awareness. So that's like getting back in touch with the body. Do you know what I mean? Like helping to regulate your neurosystem, I think. If it's wrong, someone tell me. Journaling and reflection. I couldn't really do journaling, so it's more of reflection for me. However, I do want to go into this journaling. My mum's just bought me a beautiful book, but it's with a calligraphy pen. So I can't just write normally. I need to get a calligraphy pen because writing triggers me. So my mum's got me, the proper pen with the ink and stuff. So I'm going to start writing all my spiritual practices in there so I can hand it down to my girls. All of the personal like things that I may not even share on the live, I want to pass it down in my generations because that's what it's really about. They get us to build legacies with money and stuff like that, but once the money goes, you've got your DUMB son who's got no knowledge. He's just a spoiled brat. He's going to squander the wealth in a year. So it's about wisdom and knowledge. That's the legacy. So externalize memories and emotions through journaling and reflection to integrate without judgment. Survivor community support, that's what we've got. Connection validates experiences and reduces isolation. And let's face it, we're living in a virtual reality. Do you know what I mean? So even if we're not meeting up physically, you've got a community. You could come on TikTok, you can there's content there. Guys, when we first came out, there was nothing. There was no content. That's why I try to do, content that's with it. Like in with the times, like for us to have our little jokes and for you lot to vibe with it and whatever, because they pushed us out. A lot of us were bullied in there. A lot of you were like, rejected, like put on the periphery outside. So now we're the popular ones. They're the ones that look like idiots. Yeah, that was my whole strategy and it's worked so well. Like so many people are waking up. I didn't realize the influence I had. I've influenced the whole of TikTok. I got the whole of TikTok like against First Love and Karis and everything. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. It's great. The internet is a great tool for exposure. Oh, thank you, Nana. I appreciate you, babe. And I love, do you know what? Nana's one of my favorite Ghanaian names, And I like Adjoa. Professional guidance. Trauma-informed therapists can support nervous system recalibration. So it's not about just going, if you can pay for therapy, the therapy that I advise is trauma-informed therapists and then also EDMR. Yeah, those are the two that works the best for us. But if you find that you're doing this therapy and nothing's happening, then guys, you may need to go into more specialized psychological support, mental health services. Because remember, I got diagnosed with BPD and CPTSD, and then autism and ADHD is what I'm getting assessed for. So, oh, thank you, Nana. I appreciate you being here, man. I really do. All right, let's look at the cult psycho ed tie-in, guys. There's going to be a lot today. I'm going to see what I can get through because now I'm trying to preserve my energy. And as I'm like healing and I'm getting the little times, like now my mind is clearing, the fog is lifting and clearing, and now I'm able to like come back on the lives and the content will follow. And so I can get into, because guys, now I've got to get into the rhythm of speaking to survivors, writing a world-changing, life-transforming book, being on the lives, and then doing content. So it's like I've got to get a balance. Now I'm feeling it. I'm not gonna lie. Like now I'm feeling it like internally. I'm feeling the weight. I'm feeling the shift. And I think God has done this because God wants me to know I'm not just writing a book. It's supernatural. It's supernatural. And do you know why I'm happy about this? Because so many people in the collective, they don't just want to like be atheists and just leave God. A lot of people love God. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't go to church because I'm scared. And, I just know that it's EVIL, mainly EVIL places, but I feel like I've got like nowhere to go. Like, no. So this is why I'm going to make, it's not even like I'm going to make it God. God wants it to become a bit more spiritual. just for us to get back in tune, because I think we've gone through the deconstruction and deprogramming. Now it's going to be about us fine tuning, getting attuned with God in a personal way. And although I don't think there's one way, you know what I mean, to finding God, or, you know, worshiping God, or that's why they say there's only one way to Christ, because they want to keep you trapped in the religious matrix. Understanding trauma withdrawal through cult psychoed. The transcendental belief system fosters chronic nervous system activation. What is the transcendental belief system? It's the overarching vision of the cult leader. So the cult leader will claim to be this prophet or this all-seeing whatever, this powerful man of God that has the ability to have the answers for your past, present, and future. And that's why the religion, it fits so well, the ideology that they've created. Your past, you were a sinner. Then your present, you become born again, you say the sinner's prayer, then you're in church, your future is heaven. So that's how they manipulate you. That's how they brainwash you. And that's how they abuse you, through the transcendental belief system. And it's just unfortunate that it fits in really well to Christianity. And, you know, it's a doctrine of control, unfortunately. And those of you that defend it, and you just got a fractured psyche. That's all. You got a fractured psyche, a lot of trauma, a lot of people. And that's why I say, like, there are some people who are meant to be in these settings, guys, because they're never going to change. They're too damaged. Their trauma is too much. So they need to be in these systems to help them even, like, function as a normal person. And then just EVIL people, because and it's unfortunate that it is going to be the most vulnerable. But those people who are vulnerable are like Rottweilers. They look soft on the outside, but they've learnt to be Rottweilers inside. They appear as angels, but they're demons, and they will literally spiritually, like, eat people in there. Do you understand? But they don't. It looks like, oh, trauma. Look, Missy HM is saying yes. So all of those people, what's going to happen eventually is all of the EVIL people that are a threat to our society spiritually are all going to be in these, like, they're going to get stuck in the religious matrix in the prison. Yeah. And what's happening is God is waking up his chosen ones, the ones with good hearts. Have you noticed that the people that get out of these things are people with good hearts? Because it takes, like, you've got to be, like, a little bit still in tune with self. The EVIL ones are the ones, they completely have let themselves go. And God has left them. God has left the church to their own reprobate mind and ideology. That's why when you see it, like all the Haley Melindas, like the Breenies, like all of the new age Christians that are coming up, it's all about money. They don't care. They don't care about people. They don't care about Christ. They don't really care about the doctrine. It's all about the fashion brand and her making 6 figures. And they don't care about God. They don't care about Jesus Christ. It's all about self. Don't you get it? It's all about self. They're all elitists. They just care about themselves. They're selfish. Those are the type of gal, them, the pick-me's. Obedience, recruitment, and energy extraction heighten stored trauma. Once removed from the system, the nervous system releases the very energy the cult siphoned, creating withdrawal-like experiences. So this is like all your emotions. You got to remember, when you leave, it's like everything comes down on you like a ton of bricks, guys. Everything you've been running from, the trauma that led you there before the cult, then the trauma that you experienced on top of the trauma you came in there with. It's just layers and layers of trauma. Layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of trauma. And we've got to unpack that trauma. And it's not going to take overnight. You've got to sit with the uncomfortableness. You've got to sit with those emotions. Because before, you were doing things like, some people take DRUG to escape their emotions. Some people go to church. I need to quote that. Woo! Some people take DRUG to, what did I say? To think their emotions. Some people go to church. Survivors must be educated. This is not spiritual failure. It's nervous system healing. So, oh, see me, wagwan. So this is the neurosystem recalibrating. This is the nervous system healing. So through you becoming educated, you're not going to realize it. Like when you're reading a book, it's getting into your psyche. Your brain is sending out different signals now. It's reprogramming the whole thing. Do you get it? But you don't feel like anything's happening. And because they always want to see something, like see an outcome, see a goal, see the people, see this, see money, because they're greedy. It's all about money, power, and control. Spirituality is the opposite. It's the antithesis. You can't. Oh, Barbara the Builders, yes. You can't find Christ in religion. You can't find God in religion. You can't. You'll find accolades. You'll find listen, when it comes to church cults, they're go-getters, you know, because everything's about pride in there, what we've achieved, what we've got, whatever. By framing it this way, survivors gain clarity about their symptoms, confidence in their healing, tools of self-regulation, understanding that healing is body, mind, and energy work. Healing is body, mind, and energy work. Understanding what energy is. As I came off the live, I was like, what is energy? Can you break it down for me, ChatGPT? Just go on AI. What is energy? Why do I feel this way? This happened to me in the cult. Tell me what it means in cult psychological terms, guys. Guys, I've given you enough educative, academic sayings and tools to be able to go on ChatGPT now and heal your damn self. I'll keep it real. But I'll say something now. I'm so proud of us. I'm so blood clot proud of us. All the survivors that I've been speaking to, Christ first in the cut, their life has got better. They're healing. I don't even want to cry. I'm just perplexed. I'm just like, raw, when did this happen? But I think because I've gone more silent and I'm now going within and I'm now unpacking this trauma and I'm now sitting with self and really working this through. I love you, girl. Girl, we will be spinning it all. Girl, 2026, Christ first, 2020, we're coming back to Timothy and Nia. All of them getting exposed. All the pictures of him doing up his LGBTQ plus is all getting exposed because I'm not registered as a social worker anymore, babe. So I don't care now. I don't have any regulations or external bodies that I have to comply with. So 2026 is going to get mad. All of the naked pictures of him, I'm just going to expose now, babe. I don't care. They're all getting exposed, babe. They're all getting exposed. 2026, all of the things that I didn't expose, I left behind. I was feeling like now I'm healing. I'm not block like you. I don't have to be so ethically right now. All right. So the conclusion, the neurosystem purge as liberation. Trauma withdrawal is the body, mind, and spirit reclaiming what the cult took. Hey, Louise. Let me repeat that. Trauma withdrawal is the body, mind, and spirit reclaiming what the cult took. Emotional freedom, energetic autonomy, nervous system balance, reclaimed selfhood. This is when you take your power back, the healing and the recalibration of the neurosystem, the nervous system. It feels messy, chaotic, and exhausting, but it is the essential process of liberation. The survivor collective recognizes this is not a weakness. This is the body, the psyche, and the spirit healing together. Healing is messy, but it is liberation. So when people want to come and be like, I've healed. All right, baby. Tell me how you heal. How did you heal? People who want to lead cult movements and say that they're pioneers for church cults and that they're doing this work, this, that, and the third. What you need to do is ask them how they healed. What was your healing process? And let them talk. Don't let them do it short. Don't let them give you no. Say no. Can you really unpack it for me? Can you really go into the processes, how you actually did it? I'm really curious. They just don't know. They don't understand it. You have to be purged. You can't fake healing. Can't fake it. Because you can sense it. Because now all your senses and everything is woken up. That's why there's going to be people that you could chat, chill with and talk to and be around. Then after you've healed, you can't be around those people no more because now you're just getting fake. Now you can see straight through them. They're not real. Woo. All right. What do I want to share? All right, F it. Let's get into it. So as I've been sitting here thinking about this healing, thinking about just everything I'm going through, the different motions. And I was thinking about eating. I was like, eating is so ghetto. Why do we have to eat? Hey, Becca. I was thinking, I don't want to eat. What's the point in eat? It's just I don't know. It's crazy I was thinking about this. But anyway, it got me thinking about spirituality. Then I saw this scientist that's basically proven that, fasting, it kind of your body, when you're fasting, your body, the organs start to eat each other or something. So it's like the body is cleansing itself. So it started making me think about Christ in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. And another scripture, as well as for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Another scripture that's been on my mind consistently since I left was also man cannot live on bread and bread alone. And that's when I started to have, my altar, my incense, my candles, my spiritual practices. That scripture really started to minister to me because it's not the physical things that feed our flesh. It's the innate things from within. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to get into my revelation and I think this is a spiritual psychoeducation theory that I've developed. This will be in my book. It's coming out in March 2026. The scientific layer, energy and reallocation. So the Chinese scientist that I was describing is Dr. Yoshinori Osumi, who won the Nobel Prize for discovering autophagy. I think that's how you pronounce it, autophagy. The process where during fasting, the body recycles damaged cells, heals tissues, resets inflammation, and clears cellular waste. Now, underneath this post, I saw some fake Christians saying, oh, we know about healing from the Bible. But how can you just say that? You don't understand the process as to how this man has come to this revelation. You don't even the fasting that they're doing in the churches, Shabbat, and it's done for them to be seen because it's corporate. It's not from a place within. So it doesn't work. It's just starvation. That's why they don't lose weight. And listen, I'm not coming for anyone's weight or whatever, yeah. But if you're in like the Hayley Melindas of this world, if you're trying to say, oh, you got 6 figures of this, you did that, and you're large, then how am I supposed to sit here and listen to you? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because it's about gluttony. Gluttony is also a sin. Gluttony is also a sin, and it comes in many different ways. So it started making me think like you've got to be able to like cleanse yourself. Like you've got to be able to like cleanse out your nervous system to help you. That's the main key that I want us to take away from this. When you don't eat much, your body switches from digestion mode to repair mode. It's not starvation, it's healing. So when Christ fasted, symbolically, he was entering a state where, and I want to say, I'm not telling anyone to starve themselves. If you concentrate on what I'm saying, it's about mind over matter. It's when your nervous system is getting to the place where you can't physically eat. I'm trying to help you understand the situation that's going on. I'm not telling you not to eat because that's just foolish. Yeah. This is from a metaphysical, spiritual psychology lens. Okay. So when Christ fasted, symbolically, he was entering a state where the physical body becomes quiet so that the spiritual body can speak. This matches the experience that I've been telling you about, when my appetite dropped at the same time as my spiritual sensitivity increased. This is not random. This is a pattern. So let's look at the metaphorical scriptural layer. Man cannot live on bread alone. Bread in the Bible is never just bread. It represents dependence, routine, physical survival, the seen world, social conditioning. Christ's line means humans need more than material nourishment. We need spiritual, emotional, and inner nourishment. And that's what they don't give us, the inner nourishment. And we're just, going on this conveyor belt and we're just unaliving ourselves, So if this is spiritual, emotional, and inner nourishment, then that beckoneth the question, what is the real food? Could it be insight, intuition, truth, awakening, revelation, and inner strength? Your body reducing food while your inner world rises is symbolically identical. Like, guys, I can't eat meat at the moment. I tried to do like a bacon thing and it made me feel sick. I couldn't eat it. Like I'm only able to eat fruits at the moment, cereal, like wheat. I'm going to repeat that again. Your body reducing food while your inner world rises is symbolically identical. The temptation narrative, psychological interpretation. So Christ in the desert is not about the devil as a literal creature. It's a psychological landscape. Christ in the desert is not about the devil as a literal creature. I need to repeat it then. It's a psychological landscape. Guys, just quickly, for this desert bit, yeah, I've got a whole bit where I break down what the desert signifies, what it's for. Do you not want the longer, more in-depth version of the desert from a metaphysical, psychological, spiritual, or do you just want the quick one? Can you let me know? Because if people are really into this, I can go a little bit more in depth. But if you just want me to do the shorter one, let me know. Do you want the longer one or the shorter one? Harris said the deep one. Okay. All right. So I'm on point 3. All right. I'm not gonna lie. It is the deep one is yummy. All right. The desert, a psycho spiritual revelation. Yeah, everyone's saying the deep one. And this is food, guys. This is spiritual food. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this is the real spiritual food. They all they teach you in there is how to be a puppet and worship a man to be a slave. There's no real power. That's why I'm going into esoteric teachings now. Because what are they going to say? They don't know Christ. They don't know Christ, bro. They do not know Christ in these churches. I'm telling you now. Okay, so the desert, a psycho spiritual revelation. The desert is where my soul dragged me when everything I knew fell apart. Not to punish me, but to strip away all the illusions that were choking my real self. In psycho-spiritual language, the desert is the place where the old identity unalives and the new one hasn't formed yet. It's that in-between state where you say, I don't know who I am anymore, because the version of you shaped by survival, trauma, and the cult conditioning is finally dissolving. In the desert, there's no crowd telling you who to be, what to be, no pastor, no leader, no doctrine controlling your psyche, no role to perform, no mask to wear. So the mask comes off in the desert and you start to see your true reflection. It's where everything fake falls away. It's where I finally heard my own voice, my inner voice, after years of noise. Thank you for the gifts. It's where everything fake falls away. It's where I finally heard my voice after years of noise, because it's loud in there. It's chaotic, it's animalistic, it's barbaric. It's just so loud that you can't hear yourself. You're in a building, you can't ground yourself, you can't connect with nature. It's just hell. Spiritually, deserts always come before breakthroughs. Psychologically, deserts come before integration. Psycho-spiritually, the desert is where your true self incubates. So we're in this incubation period right now. I've got the other theory that talks about the cocooning phase before we turn into the butterfly. So just look at it like, this is going to be beautiful transformation. But right now we're in the desert. It's not comfortable. It's not glamorous. It's not peaceful. It's raw. It's lonely, and it forces you to meet yourself without distraction. So there's people that because guys, you know what just came into my ears? We're like the Israelites, like where we're going into the promised land, and it's like some people are going to fall off. They can't cross with us. When the Red Sea parts, there's some even survivors because they haven't put in the work. They're still wearing a mask, still, trying to acting like the cult. Do you know what I'm saying? They haven't healed one bit. And you know what, guys, I've come to learn, not everybody wants to be part of this collective, to be part of the collective. Some people want to be part of the collective to get close to me. Do you know what I'm saying? To siphon my energy, to get close to proximity to me. That's the truth. And I'm not here. I'm not doing up a replication of the cult. Like, no one's special, babe. We're all the blood clot same. And so when I see that kind of thing, that fan, obsession, wanting to get close to me, that's weird. That's so weird. But that's the point. The desert shows you your shadows, your grief, your suppressed anger, your longing, your hidden strength, the parts of you that never got to exist because you were surviving. We're coming out of survival mode, y'all. They want you in survival mode, in fight or flight, so you can't think. That's how they want you in the church. You're easier to indoctrinate, and then just young people because you're DUMB. And the desert is not punishment, it's refinement. In a dry and barren land, I'm longing for your hand to guide us to a place where you can cleanse us with your rain, baptize us once again. I thirst for you. Oh Lord, we are waiting. Let your river flow. Come flood our hearts again and cleanse our thirsty souls. We thirst for you. That's the song. That's the CC Winans song. In a dry and barren land, we're longing for your hand to guide us. So when I first sung in the office, my pastor was like, "Oh my God, you sound like the greats. You sound like CC Winans. You sound like Yolanda Adams. You sound like this." And then breaking me down at the same time, telling me that I can't sing. So none of it ever made sense. It's a double standard where you can't win vibe. Yeah. Welcome, Marve. Absolutely. I was wondering where you were. I was thinking, oh, maybe she's busy. She can't come on every live. And then here you are. Welcome. Welcome, everybody on YouTube. Okay. It reveals everything you've outgrown. It reveals who cannot go with you into your next chapter. It reveals the wounds that still need healing. It reveals your real spiritual authority. Not the one they try to give you, but the one you were born with. So it's not like you're creating a new sense of self. You're kind of coming back to self. That's why I say to go within, like connect with your like ancestral wisdom. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of like pain and hurt that comes from like ancestors that we've lost. We haven't really dealt with the trauma. You know, all of that, guys. It's all a part of it. Everyone with a message, a calling, a movement, a mission goes through their desert season. Because the soul says, let me reset you, let me unhook you, let me rebuild you. In the desert, our energy is reorganizing, our psyche is recalibrating, our heart is thawing, our spirit realigning, identity is transforming from truth, not trauma. The season is not the end of us. It's the incubation of our next evolution. It's the clearing of everything counterfeit. It's the preparation for our new life, the new improved self. The artist, the survivor, the woman or man that you are becoming. We are not lost. We are in the desert. And the desert is where we rise. Guys, you're in for a treat. Now we gonna get back into the psychological interpretation. So during this time when Christ was in the desert, it was a psychological landscape. So the temptations were ego, fear, doubt, powerlessness, illusion, identity crisis. This mirrors the trauma recovery pathway of a cult survivor. Do you see the hidden esoteric gnosis meaning? You confront inner fair voices, which they would see as the devil. Everything's devil, devil, devil. That's inner fair voices that have led from trauma. You might have been, your parent might have been abusive to you, emotional neglect. Your parent is actually the DEVIL because of their trauma. That's why we have to break cycles. The DUMB second generation that came from hypervigilant, just bonkers mum and dads, they're going to repeat the cycle. Do you see what I mean? So we need cycle breakers coming in, and we're seeing a lot more of them because it's absolute insanity. When will our people be free? So you question reality in this phase, you confront inner fair voices, you face the false self the church cult built around you, you meet the shadow of shame and self-doubt, you learn to stand on your own spirit again, your own 2 feet. When Christ resisted the devil, he wasn't fighting a monster, he was mastering his mind, his self, his identity. And that's exactly what you're doing now. It's mind over matter. This is the next bit we're going into. The ones seeing the weird stuff and stay silent or act like it's nothing, those are the enablers. Absolutely. And they're just EVIL, Marve. And that's why I said, like, don't worry about the church cults. We don't want them to go completely because there's people that need to be locked up. Like, they need to be in them systems. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we need somewhere to retain and contain them, Jer. So mind over matter, a trauma survivor's ascension stage. And then after this part, guys, I'm going to head off. And I need to do some cleaning and relax. I still haven't cleaned. After surviving a cult, survivors go through a phase where the body shuts down, appetite. The mind becomes hyper spiritually aware. Physical needs feel muted. The nervous system enters a symbolic desert. They face their inner critic and old programming. They emerge spiritually renewed. This stage is documented in trauma psychoed as the reconstruction phase, when a survivor redefines meaning, belief, and identity. Isn't that powerful? Your experience is not random or dangerous. It is symbolic, psychological, somatic, and spiritual all at once. How amazing is that? And also, guys, this is going to be on YouTube. So if you want to go back and listen to it, guys, I'm not going to lie. The 2 lives from today, I would recommend, like, that's a survivor must watch. It will really help you to understand the times. And I'll put a little bit of content up basically saying I encourage people to go and watch those lives. Why this book belongs. Oh yeah. Oh God. I nearly just oh my God. I nearly just revealed a part of the book that I'm not going to reveal until March. That was close. Oh my God, that was close. There's so many copycats, man. People trying to be me, steal my ideas. That's why I can't just tell you lot freely. All right. So how this helps church cult survivors. Cults taught survivors to fare their own intuition, spiritually and body. Your interpretation, so this interpretation teaches us the opposite, that the body has wisdom, that scripture has metaphorical meaning. It's not, because they've created doctrines where that's the absolute truth, and the cult leader's revelation of the doctrine is seen as like infallible. Do you get it? But it's just they're just ideologies. Like, this is my ideology, this is my revelation I believe God's given me. It's no different to, like these pastors or whatever. But the difference is I'm giving you tools to empower you, not to control you. Those false doctrines is to control you. This is to empower you. That fasting, appetite loss, or energy shifts can be part of awakening, not sin. Watch them start talking about the science behind fasting now, because they're all watching me. They all copy it. They actually come on my lives to learn the wisdom and then go back on their Instagram page and be remixing what I'm saying. They all do it. They've all done it. They all do it. Now they want to be talking about the brain and the psychology. Guys, open your eyes. They're going to do whatever it takes to get that bread. It's all about the bread. Oh my God, the bread. Man cannot live by bread. The bread alone. Look, it's also money in it. The things that there's so many hidden esoteric meanings. My brain is like, everything is a sign. Everything speaks to me at the moment. It's overwhelming. It's just like messages, like downloads, constant downloads, absolute mess. It's Miss CHM. It's an absolute MESS. Like, when you come out, it's just overwhelming how much of an MESS it is. And then I think that the awakening, like the wake up call, is realizing it's such a MESS. And that meant that we were at the bottom of the barrel, at the pits of hell, to end up in these church cults. We were at the pits of hell. Like, that's how bad it was. And it's coming to that realization, like, Ross Clark, I really hit rock bottom, boy. I didn't even know it. Salade in the car, I didn't even blood clot know it. That desert is a psychological journey, not a punishment. That they are allowed to reinterpret spiritual stories with their own mind. And that's the part, guys, where it becomes, like when you look at positive and negative authority and leadership, you can see that the negative one is all about authoritarian control. And a lot of them are misogynists. So a lot of the ideological perspectives it's just misogyny. And that's why with the narcissistic collapse, like, these places of worship are falling as well. And people are becoming more aware of the teething, the lies, the evil, all of it, because people are waking up. All right, what I think I might do is just give you lot, bloody hell, you lot are going to know the whole book, innit, before it comes out at this rate. No, there was another one about tithing. Guys, I've been getting some mad revelations, chair. All right, I've done the neurosystem purge. All right, let's get into tithing. All right. Is this it? The mechanism? All right. I'm going to talk about sacrifice because this is huge. And then I might get into tithing. If I don't get into the tithing, I'm going to do it tomorrow, yeah? Well, I might not be on tomorrow, guys. This is why I've been on a lot today. The next time I might be on is Friday, but we'll see. So now we're going to look at how church cults hijacked an ancient concept of sacrifice. What sacrifice actually means in scripture. Let's get it. High control churches treat sacrifice as a payment system. Give money, give time, give gifts, obedience, give your whole life to leadership. But biblically, sacrifice was never meant to be a mechanism of exploitation and control, because they're just like P. Diddy. Like, that's all it is. They're like P. Diddy. The pastors are like P. Diddy. The New Testament teaches something radically different. Christ learned obedience through the things he suffered. This means obedience is learned through experience, not coercion. You can't learn through the mistakes of others. Everyone has a different path and a different, like, do you get what I'm saying? Sacrifice is something lived, not demanded. Suffering is not something leaders inflict. It's a part of the human condition, not a religious tax. And in the car, your content sounds a lot like Brittany, the cosmic wifey bestie on the internet, but she does it with tarot. Who's Brittany? You never know what the future holds, babe. You never know. You never know. In the future, I might be doing something with tarot. Thank you, Ange. I love you, but I don't know who she is, my love. Is what's her last name? But biblically, sacrifice was never meant to be a mechanism for exploitation. The New Testament teaches something radically different, because you have to remember, like the esoterics, like the Gnostics, like the stuff that I'm leaning more towards, they were the mystics. And there's mysticism in every single. Oh, you just got into tarot. How are you finding it, my love? The mystics, I believe that Jesus Christ was a mystic. And listen, tarot cards are no different from stained glass windows in Catholic churches. Okay, go and get some tarot cards and go and stand there and put it against the windows. You'll see it same thing. I think it's a congregation of words and hypes. What is, my love? All right. Because there's a collective of women, like divine feminine women, that are more like exploring more divine feminine spirituality and esoteric meanings and things like that. And I feel like now I just need to unveil myself a little bit more. And it will be coming, guys. It's March 2026. I think there's just this fear because of the indoctrination. What will people think of me? How will they see me? How, it's the fear. This is why I'm in the desert land. Like, I'm just unpacking like all of the trauma. Why am I fear how people will see me, or why do I care? So it's this last bit I need to get rid of and master in my psyche. So it's like I'm just purging and just getting out all of this crap. Cult leaders reverse this. They abuse you, emotionally starve you, exhaust you, and then call that your sacrifice unto God. So the abuse and the emotional starvation, the abuse, they call it as your sacrifice unto God. You're being this is how leaders get trained. They just find things to condone their evil. It's like, no, that's not sacrifice. That's narcissistic abuse disguised as spirituality. And you never had a dad. You come from trauma. You ain't never had parents. You've been in care your whole life. How do you know what healthy leader looks like? Sacrifice in the ancient world was not about money. Cults love to say back in the Bible times, they didn't have money, so they gave cattle instead. This is what Dad used to say, that because money wasn't the currency, cattle was the currency, agriculture, farming is a lie. This is historically and factually wrong. There was money, clear as day. Jesus literally says, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Why? Because Caesar's face was on the coin. This proves the Roman Empire had currency. The Jews used currency. People paid taxes and bought goods with money. So no, cattle were not God's version of money. That whole argument collapses with one sentence from Jesus, but they don't have the true Christ. They don't have Yeshua. They've got Jesus, the Roman God, and that was done to maintain control. Why people offered animals, wheat, and oil. Let's look at the metaphysical truth behind this. So in ancient cultures, Jewish and non-Jewish offerings weren't about paying God. That's how they've made us look at sacrifice through it's like we're paying God. It's an offering. It's a seed, that this and that. But it's all just metaphysical. It's just all smoke and mirrors. Do you know what I mean? It's all human fecal matter. They just want your money. God doesn't need your money. God doesn't even know what money is here. Imagine how stupid that is, like giving money to God. Like, it don't make no sense. And they're going to say to build what kingdom, babe? We're already in the kingdom. This is God's earth. He gave us the land, the fish to be dominion. You've gone and created your own Christendom. Where is that biblical? Where is that? Where can we find that in the Bible? That's not biblical. God owns everything exactly, babe. And that's why they've tried to create their own world. I'm telling you, man, it's deep. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, JL. They represented energy exchange as gratitude and communal ritual. So let's look at animal blood, because the sacrifices that they were using, it was for a particular purpose. So let's get into it. Blood symbolized life force, vitality, the cycle of life and death, release of sin and trauma symbolically. Thank you. They have created their own doctrines and dominations. Yes, Becca. And we're waking up now. This is what I'm saying. Like it was, guys, you see, nobody loves Christ more than me. There's no one. There's absolutely no one. The passion, the love that I have for Christ, there's no one out there, babes. I don't care. I'm not here. The reason I wasn't talking about Christ and the Bible, I had to heal. And they were all saying she's EVIL, she's not. Oh, baby. I was like, wait. Because when the gal then were getting their backs blown out and eating from the banana bowl, they're all about D in there. Your girl was studying. They have finished the Bible to a next level. Yeah, they've ruined it. They've ruined it, girl. So now we have to create our own. It's like we're going backwards to move forward. Like we have to go back to just strip it all back. Like just go back. Because what if they burned all of the Bibles in the world and we didn't have it? How would we? Do you understand what I'm saying? Guys, it's just a book. Come on, man. Wake up. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you have to go within, like find your own truth, like find your own spiritual map, your own spiritual DNA. That's what you need to find. The Bible is a good book to help us to understand, to give us like spiritual protection. The Psalms are very good for that, for cleansing rituals, for protection, whatever. But it's not a book that you have to follow and everything it says in there. If you don't follow it, you're going to hell. That is just DUMB. Sorry. Also, Lujo Barbie has a similar content and sounds a bit like you. I think it's English. Oh, the topic, the hidden veil and the real spirituality. Oh, wow. Marve, tell me a bit more about this hidden veil, babe. Is that Innes? Oh, no, I thought I saw Innes. So the reason why they sacrificed animal blood is because blood symbolized life force, vitality, the cycle of life and death. And it's the release of sin and trauma symbolically. It was not give your pastor your money. It was a metaphysical ritual connected to life, death, gratitude, and purification. And you've got to remember, a lot of the Jewish, whether they were Jews or not, it was the culture of the day, of the time, from that certain part of the world. Like when you go to Nigeria, they've got certain cultures. When you go to Dubai, when you go to India, everyone's got their own culture. So that was just the cultural practice. So how they've translated that into money is just EVIL and tithes. And that's what I'm saying to you. It's all they've kind of just worked it. Because guys, you got to understand, getting all of that money, like it's not for one man. It's not the way it was supposed to be designed. They're not even supposed to be taking money. You don't even need a building to meet. You can meet outside. It's even better for the neuro system, but they want all of these buildings. It's all about, they are pocketing all the money. That's why their bellies are so big. All right. Wheat, grain, oil, and fruit. These symbolize, and a lot of people are just large. Like the wives let themselves go. They're just sitting in there eating stuff in their face, cooking for their ex-husband while he's cheating on them, claiming that he's going to church, whatever. It's just a cycle. Like the women are just washed up in there. Because all they do is eat. They haven't got they haven't got a life. They don't do anything outside of the cult. They just eat. That's why you'll get a young girl. She'll be looking fine as hell, come in with a nice little figure. Give it like 5-7 years in that cult. She'll just be let herself completely go, because they just eat. They just eat and eat and eat. They consume the body with so much food. And when you stuff your face, that's why gluttony is a sin. You can't have that spiritual connection to God, because the body needs to recalibrate. So that's why he says gluttony is a sin. Because it's the same. What's going on externally is the same in what's going on internally. You can't trust a person like that. They just care about themselves. They're gluttonous. That's why I told you, Hayley Melinda, I can see right through her. If you can't control what goes in your mouth, why am I going to be listening to what comes out of your mouth? Because you're gluttonous. Of course you're going to be rich. You're going to step on anyone's neck to get rich. Do you know what I mean? You can't control yourself. You can't control it. And a lot of these galdem in church cults, they're pick-me's. Because they're unfortunate looking, they don't love themselves. A lot of them have let themselves go. They're overweight. They're insecure. So the security comes from the empires that they build, the money that they've got. It's repulsive. It's masculine. Hayley Melinda is a masculine man. I think it's nice if you can use Bible lines to teach people. Yeah, now people are healing a bit more. We can get into it. Thank you, Marve. So I'm going to repeat this again. It was not give your pastor your money. It was a metaphysical ritual connected to life, death, gratitude, and purification. Wheat, grain, oil, and fruit, because they also offered wheat and grain and oil. Because I think it was the brothers? One offered a sacrifice of meat that was accepted, and one offered the wheat and whatever. So it was that scripture that made me think about the hidden meaning behind it. What was that all about? So these symbolized harvest cycles, seasonal rhythm, nature's abundance, offering the best of your labor to the divine. Again, nothing to do with tithing into a man's physical pocket. This was all supposed to be offerings that they gave to God, like the animals, the blood sacrifice. It only became building churches when Paul came into the cut. Paul didn't even know Christ, never met him a day in his life. Paul's teachings are contradictory to Christ. So what we've got is a lot of Paulism, and a lot of temples of Paul, where a lot of EVIL, misogynistic, insecure men have taken the teachings well out of context, and it's just abusive. Yeah. So they worship Paul and the teachings of Paul more than Jesus Christ. And that's where the balance, there's been the off balance. Yeah. The Romans. Yeah. He was a Roman. Paul was a Roman. Guys, it was all a setup, man. You got to read in between the lines. God doesn't just cast his pearls amongst swine. God is divine. His ways are not our ways. His ways are higher than our ways. God has hidden it. Even though they try to mess up the scriptures, and even the ones that they put in there, like Paul, that's a message. That's a sign. There's a message. There's a message and a lesson in everything in the Bible, because you can't mock God. You can't cheat God. It's taken thousands of years, but look, we're waking up now. In another 1,000 years, religion is not going to have the power it has today. It'll be a completely different society, and we're paving the way for it. This is the beginning. This is the root. I like group learning, New Earth, Chosen Ones, Group 7, motivation, Reiki, spiritual services and stuff. Oh, wow. I'm going to be getting into all of that, my love. I'm going to be getting, and again, there's just this thing that I do within that's a bit like healing. It's almost like spiritually. Thank you so much, my love. I know where things are twisted, like in your spiritual anatomy. If I feel something's twisted, I'll do this, and then I'll like, and it might be considered as Reiki, but I've never learnt Reiki a day in my life. I've never gone to look at what Reiki is or what it means. It's just from within. Yeah, I had this guy, you know, my rich African uncle guy, and he used to be so stressed out, you know, with his work commitments and all his multiple businesses and property developments and stuff. And I just used to do a bit of like crystal healing on him and stuff, and it really worked. It really worked for him. So that's where I got into, you know, that I have that gift. And so, yeah, so I'll definitely be doing more of it. It's just me coming out to the world. Do you know what I mean, Marve? It's like when an LGBTQ person comes out, it's like I need to come out to the world, and I'm a bit scared because I still don't know like who I am. I'm just Leah. But a lot of the practices that I do and whatever, it would be seen as demonic and this and that. So I'm just taking my time because it's like a process. It's a lot. All right. The offering was symbolic. It was never transactional. Cults turned it to transactional because it benefits them, the greedy, overweight pastor with the big belly. Sacrifice across cultures, not just the Bible. This is where things get really powerful. There was no Christianity in the Old Testament era. Ancient Near Eastern cultures, Canaanite, Babylonian, Egyptian, and later Roman and Greek influences all practiced sacrifice. Sacrifice was a ritual language, cultural norm, a way of relating to the divine, a way of marking seasons and transitions. Christianity didn't invent sacrifice. The Romans didn't invent it. It existed everywhere as a cultural and metaphysical practice, not because God demanded people to stay poor. So this is where you could see that they've taken our African cosmology, which has led us to be poor and never be able to recover, because it was the esoteric hidden knowledge that they stole from us, the ability to our magic, our mysticism. They took it. Oh God, this is a lot. Guys, how is this feeling? Let's take a bit of a deep breath, because this is a lot. Because when you unpack the depth of it, it's just so EVIL. It's just like, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? Like, how could someone be so EVIL? But that is like P. Diddy, you know, he'd do anything to get the millions, anything to get the success, anything to get the ego, anything to rule the world. And it's never enough for them, these malignant narcissists. They feed off it. It's, do you know what I mean? It's, they're a beast. They're a monster. They feed off. It's just, there's no end to the disasters and the calamity that they cause, because it's all about them, their power, their control, their elevation. It's all about them. Today I played some with the green Tara mantra to get that relaxation in my voice. Oh, that's nice. Green Tara mantra. I do love mantras though. For example, saying I choose to live in peace. I choose we live in peace, and I choose nature to live in peace. Oh, that's lovely. Who's Green Tara mantra? Let me take a little photo of that, Marve, because I like that. I might do like survivor link ups that are just generic, and then I might do like spiritual link ups for the spiritual girlies and guys, where we can get into a little bit more, you know what I mean? Because guys, like, wouldn't it be so beautiful? Like, I know this sounds really radical, yeah, but I would love to just, you know, like you could just dance naked. Do you know what I mean? Just be free, like just in the fields, like, because to get to that frequency, yeah, like where you can be in a room and just dancing in a euphoric, like central way, and no one feels any eggshell things towards other people. It's just all about us just freely like worshiping, you know, with nothing on, like just for God. Like that's the level I'm at now, and it's taken a lot of deconstruction. Tara is the female Buddha. Is it? So I can just YouTube that, because I've been wanting to get into, not convert to Buddhism, but I have looked into Buddha a little bit for the mind over matter, the balancing, the grounding, the yin yang. It's very useful for that, guys. Teachings around, and you don't have to get into Buddhism, but just understanding, you know, like peace, like learning to be still, like meditate. The Buddhas are just, they're experts in it. There's actually sacred texts that say that Jesus Christ actually went to Buddha, in it, to learn meditation and still. I actually believe it. I actually believe that, you know, but I haven't read the text, but there are texts there, because they've deleted so much text, man, for them to just brainwash us. It's so evil. People would do anything for power, money, and control. All right, so when pastors say sacrifice was cattle because there was no money, they're rewriting history to justify a financial machine to thief your money. So how seed offering was misinterpreted. When the Bible talks about seed, it is almost never, ever referring to money. Seed is used in scripture to represent potential, legacy, generational impact, words, teachings, actions, and intentions, spiritual growth. Paul literally says, my seed is the word I planted among you. Seed equals message. Seed equals action that multiplies. Seed equals spiritual potential. Seed equals generational transformation, not money. It does not mean hand your last 20 to a millionaire pastor and you'll get 100-fold. Like, come on, guys, that's DUMB. So sacrifice was never meant to enrich leaders. This is where the psychology comes in. So cults redefine sacrifice as give to the church, give until it hurts, give your whole identity, give your entire schedule, give your entire savings, give your land, give unquestioning obedience and loyalty. This is textbook coercive control. That's what it is. Let's look at the psychological breakdown. So cults transform suffering into compliance, lack into holiness, abuse into spiritual maturity and obedience, exhaustion into devotion. They weaponize sacrifice to create dependency, loyalty, identity fusion, trauma bonding, and financial exploitation. Your exhaustion becomes their justification. Your poverty becomes their proof that you are faithful. Your suffering becomes their evidence that the sacrifice is working. It's spiritual narcissism with a halo. Books coming out March 2026, guys, and you can pre-order from February. How the Roman Empire manufactured institutional Christianity. Because there was Christianity before it and everyone was free to worship and do what they wanted. But because of the wars and the ego and the control and all of that, they packaged it into the Christianity we know today. So church buildings, hierarchy, bishops, councils, the Bible canon was shaped under Roman state power, not divine command, not divine interpretation. Guys, a trigger warning. This is real. This is where the real deconstruction starts, okay? Key facts. Rome adopted Christianity to stabilize and unify the empire. The structure of the church mirrors Roman government, emperors, bishops, governance, elders. Doctrine was standardized to prevent rebellion. So after Christ died, there was a rebellion, you know, people were all over the place. Remember, he had a lot of control. And that's why they standardized it. Leah, you need to research the Vatican and understand their power over the world. Yeah, a survivor's already done that. Thank you, my love. A survivor's already done that, because in the and guys, if you're deconstructing and you're a writer or you write poems, songs, whatever, hit me up, because there's going to be like a collective, a chapter for the collective where all their works are, and a survivor has actually already done a piece on that. A survivor's already done a piece about that. Would also, do you know what just came? Do you know what just came to my head? Globalization. So what I might do, actually, Becca, is go into globalization, because I think that's got something to do with it, because I just heard it. Globalization. Okay, I'll add that to it, Becca. And do you see how beautiful? Like, you guys, you see, like Becca is so smart and intelligent. This girl is so smart. She doesn't even know how smart. Like, Becca, you're so friggin' intelligent. I think you should write something for the book, Beck. I really, really do, Bex. I think you should write something for the book. I think you should, girl, because you're smart and you're creative. You're such a creative soul. All right. Sacrifice became spiritualized into obedience to the institution, not like love, honor, worship to God. They changed it as sacrifice. Spirituality is sacrifice and obedience to the institution, so that they could keep people controlled. And also the Roman Empire, they maintained control through Christianity, through the religion. So yeah, the Vatican, even down to the properties, they got the biggest property portfolio. You know, they're the richest in the world. The Vatican, the Romans, the Roman Catholics, they got a lot of power. This is why cults sound Roman. Obey without question, honor leadership, submit to authority, sacrifice your resources for structure. It's imperial control repackaged as holiness. The truth. Real sacrifice is internal, not institutional. Real sacrifice is the courage to transform, not the pressure to obey. Real sacrifice is healing, rebuilding your life, reclaiming your identity, breaking generational cycles, choosing yourself, leaving abusive systems, telling the truth, loving yourself after spiritual trauma. Like, a sacrifice is leaving that good D. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I had an uncle. I'm going to talk about, I've spoken about it in my book, that was rich. He thought the problem was money. This man was trying to do up more things to give me more money to get. Do you know how hard it is to leave good D and everything's getting paid for you? Do you know how hard it is to do that? Do you know? Oh my God, when I tell you that was it, my whole life's been a sacrifice. After leaving the man them that were paying for my life, it's like I've had to walk through the trenches. I'm not even going to lie, but that is sacrifice. That is when you find you. But they've changed sacrifice to include like control and seed and invisible blessings and all of that. It's a system, the self-sealing system that they get you. That's what I talk about when I say trapped in the self-sealing system, not really understanding the meaning of things, because that's where the control comes into it. And for lack of knowledge, our people perish. Also, historically, you used to have to read from books. Now we've got the internet. I don't care what anyone says. Like, they're all saying, oh, robots are going to take over the world. We're going to be destroyed. Whatever, man. Does AI help you? Because it helps my blood clot. When I need to send an email to people and whatever, because of my mental health, I just put it in the chat GBT and it's done, bitch. Are you all right? Like, having to sit there for like 5 days trying to do something, you put it through chat GBT, you get it in 3 minutes. Guys, we're living in an advanced system. This is not the world as we know it. Like now we're going into the future. You know, like when we used to watch them pictures of cars flying and they're in tubes. That's where we're going. We're like, this is the beginning of the new age. Everything's getting changed. We're in the new earth. We're in the new world now. Nothing is the same. And these people in the old earth, they're still in it. So they're trying to fight it. AI come like my secretary in it. Are you all right? Girl, AI is so brilliant. It is so freaking, it can just be like, organize your whole life. It's like a PA. It's beautiful. There is nothing holy about being drained, my love, and looking drained because you look it. There is nothing sacred about being exploited. There is nothing godly about being controlled. Like, look at Breenie Lee. She's a good example. Breenie Lee used to look beautiful. Have you seen her? It's like the way, because you know what they think that, and what happens is these girls that think they're holier than thou, they just start to destroy themselves from the inside out, because they're suppressing it all in the nervous system. So you can see her face has got like water retention. She's putting on weight. It's all a way for the body. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the body keeps the score for them. I can see it all on her. So I've just stopped talking about them now because they'll self-destruct naturally. Or a relaxing chant is very nice. Or saying in our compassion, may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging. That's beautiful, Marve. And you want those poisons, yeah, out of your head. Yeah, that's where the purging comes from, because it's like we've got to get all of those poisonous toxins out of our head. We've got to get all those poisonous toxins out of our heart, mind, body, and soul. I'm going to say this again. There is nothing holy about being drained. There is nothing sacred about being exploited. There is nothing godly about being controlled. Your suffering is not a tax you owe to leadership. Oh, really? What church cult was that? What church cult was it? Your suffering is not a tax you owe to leadership. I'll let you on when I finish this, because I don't want it to interrupt what I'm doing. Because some people do just come on as moles to interrupt because it's too powerful what I'm saying. So the final contradiction. Oh my God, have I done this one already? If Christ rewrote the law, why are we still tithing? Now I want to get into tithing because this is like their bread and butter for the church cults. So this is why I said you got to know the laws and you got to know the scriptures. Oh, okay. After this, you could come in, yeah, if you're still here. You got to know the scriptures for yourself and you got to understand the way that Christ thinks. That's why you need to get the Christ consciousness. You've got to understand it. If Christ rewrote the law, why are we still tithing? One of the biggest cracks in the church cult system is this. Christ came to fulfill and therefore transform the old covenant. So why are modern churches still demanding Old Testament tithes? My pastor's gone like as far as to say why tithing Christians are rich and why non-tithing Christians are poor. Other, African pastors have said that you'll go to HEOL if you don't tithe. So listen to the truth. Especially when those same pastors ignore every other part of the Mosaic Law. They cherry pick what benefits them financially and discard the rest. Do you see? That was a mole that they sent on, guys, on Instagram to knock me off what I was talking about. Because they've just gone. They cherry pick what benefits them financially and discard the rest. This isn't theology. This is greed disguised as doctrine. Tithing belonged to the old covenant system, full stop. In the Old Testament, the tithe was agricultural, land-based, connected to Jewish tribal inheritance, tied to the temple system, used to support Levites who weren't allowed to own land. Modern pastors are not Levites, churches are not the temple, and Jesus said not one stone of the temple would remain standing, signaling the end of that entire system. So that's why he said he'll destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days. That was a metaphysical saying. Once the temple system collapsed, the tithe system collapsed with it. Okay, so that's why you're just in a cult, babe, at this point. If they're doing up tithe and you're standing up to give your tithe, it doesn't even exist. You're just putting that into the guy's pocket, really. Christ rewrote the covenant explicitly. This is where the cult leaders start sweating. Jesus replaced the sacrificial system, the temple structure, the legalistic ritual laws, and the economic obligations connected to them. Like, that's why he spoke about releasing the oxen on the Sabbath and this and that. Like, the stuff he was doing was to show we don't care, we're just going to live our lives, we're just going to be free. And after Jesus unalived, there was a revolt, there was a rebellion, and it was just going crazy. It was just going nuts. So they had to control the dynamics of what was going on. That's why they created the Roman deity Jesus Christ, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed deity. With 2 commands, love God and love your neighbor. When it was asked what is the greatest commandment, onto that is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. And the greatest onto that is to love yourself as you love your neighbor. So That's the part that they just skip out because they're not capable of love. These are narcissists that we're dealing with. They don't express love and they don't express empathy. So what we've seen is just like, it's just the result of greedy, stubborn, egotistical, proud men. It's the whitey American televangelists in particular that spread this health, wealth, and prosperity gospel to the Africas. Just like slavery, it's the same thing. The missionaries came in and they've just infiltrated us. Do you get it? And then the African leaders, they take on the role as the colonizer and then treat us all like slaves, because that's the spirit like that comes with that Jesus Roman deity and all of the spell work that they put in the canon Bible. It's like it's a spell book, that book. They've put stuff on it. Notice what he didn't say. You got to decode it, because if you read it, like, especially if you read it in context to a thief and a malignant narcissist ideological concepts, it will destroy you from the outside in. You'll rot from the inside out, and then you'll start looking at it on the outside. That's why the girls look at MESS in there. And you want those positions out of your head. After they get exposed, it's your time to stand on business. Absolutely. So let's just notice that Christ said that the 2 commandments is to love God and love your neighbor. Notice that he didn't say bring 10% of your income to your pastor weekly. Tithing is nowhere in Christ's teachings, nowhere in Paul's instructions to the early church, nowhere in the practices of the first Christian communities. The early believers shared resources as needed, not under financial coercion and obligation. Their giving was voluntary, relational, communal, situation-based, needs-led, never demanded under spiritual threat. There was no concept of a clergy class collecting mandatory tithes. That system came from Rome, not Christ, my love. Why church cults still push tithing? It benefits them financially, in a nutshell. They're greedy. Okay. This is the real reason. Tithing is the perfect control mechanism. It guarantees predictable income, maintains the pastor's lifestyle, keeps members feeling indebted, justifies financial hierarchy, creates spiritual guilt, keeps the institution funded, even if the people starve. So again, that part about keeps members feeling indebted, because they're like, oh, if you calculate your tithe, you've been giving your tithe for 20 years. It is an investment. You cannot leave the church. So remember, offerings they just give what they have. When they've introduced this tithing thing, it's like the bread and butter. It's like they're guaranteed to get 1.5 million every month worldwide from that's where they get, that's their cash cow. That's their cash cow. So do you see now why they come in and say I'm evil? Because I'm a threat. Because I'm saying you don't need to pay the tithe. That's an old law that got cancelled with Jesus Christ. I'm coming in and preaching the real doctrine of Jesus Christ, and they hate it. That's why they demonize, the barefooted spiritualists and all of that, because they come to threaten them. That's why they unalived all the women and branded them as witches, because it was knowledge. It was knowledge that they unalived. That's why I like to repeat, keep a rich mentality. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to stop going soon because my energy levels are getting a bit, because I'm more spiritually sensitive. Because I can't eat, but I'm going to try and get some chips and chicken and see if I can eat that. Or maybe I should go and get a sandwich. What do you think, guys? I can't be bothered to go to the supermarket though. All right. When pastors say the tithe is God's law, what they mean is it's my business model. When pastors say you're cursed if you don't tithe, what they mean is I need your money to maintain my image. This is not spirituality, it's financial narcissism. So tithing is financial narcissism. We've got a name for it. The psychological mechanism behind tithing: coercion. High control churches weaponize tithing, using fair conditioning. Your finances will collapse if you stop giving. Magical thinking: your harvest is attached to your pastor. How many people have been tithing? When you think about it, all the people that have been tithing, if they were putting that money into a savings account, these people would have wealth. They would have generational wealth. They'd be able to put proper clothes on their kids instead of looking like a pauper. Do you know what I mean? They wouldn't be in their beat down 2007 dented Nissan whilst giving all their tithe to the church. You look DUMB, babe. Survivor guilt. Others sacrifice more than you. Spiritual blackmail. God told me you must give. Scarcity brainwashing, give even when you have nothing. This is so abusive. Trauma bonding, your obedience proves loyalty. Guys, when this book comes out, they're done out. They're done out. because it will be perpetuated into the hemisphere. And I'm going to give out the book for free to like universities, lecturers, professors, cult psycho ed. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be giving it out, child. So practicing social workers, going to local authorities, talking to them about it. That's when the real work starts. I need to start putting this on the map. I need to train. I'm just going to start doing free training, just start locally with my social workers, like just getting into the like local authority systems for them to understand. And also I need to get in with the directors, because I need them to understand that a lot of their employees, if once I get in there and they start doing their stats, if they look at all their employees that are church cult members, they'll see there's a lot of sickness, there's high levels of sickness. They exploit these systems. So I can't wait to get back into the local authority, because it's what I did. It's what I did. So they just coast so that they can get paid and give all of their time and efforts to the fake church and the man of God. So I'm gonna be letting the local authority be well abreast with that. A lot of you aunties and uncles like to be in those positions because it's easy. It's easy, light work. Because you're lazy, you just want to sit in front of the desk all day and do nothing. You're lazy, you're a liar, and the truth ain't in you. That's why you're in these cults. There's no honesty. You're working with vulnerable people. You don't give a damn about them. It's just about getting that pay packet at the end. You don't care. You're there to safeguard vulnerable. You don't care. That's why you're in these church cults. Like these systems and structures, they're reminiscent and echoing what happens in the church cult. That's why you get predominantly people that are like proper church cult goers. They will have jobs in the local authority. I can bet my bottom dollar on it. And that's just what it is. Okay. Because they need jobs that aren't high demand, jobs that they can have their weekends. Because remember, that's the busiest day of the cult. And with local authority, it will unalive you. It will unalive you from the outside, from the inside out, because these jobs are mind numbing. It's boring. It just unalives you. So they're in these local authority jobs that are exactly like cults. So it's the same high pressure, high demand type of environments. And then they're going to the cult as well. So that's why people get like really bad illnesses. They're just unaliving. Look, you see how they're consuming substances? Because I'm talking about your life now, ho. What are you telling me? I'm in my bed, relaxing, just purging out my nervous system. But you're having to, part of your depression, part of your mental health issue is the job that you're going to and the cult. But you can't see it. You can't see it because they've blinded you. So this creates, oh wait, hold on, have I done this? Okay. This creates a cycle where the survivor feels responsible for the church's success, anxious about withholding, spiritually unsafe without giving, ashamed when they cannot meet the demand. And then do you see when the false prophet comes in and says, oh, you have to give 2,000. I see that there's going to be an accident in your family. And in their psyche, they probably believe it. So now they're scrambling and scraping to get this 2,000. There was a guy that was sleeping with a girl in the church cult, and Onyaka and Cece were manipulating the guy who's autistic to give money for his girlfriend's deliverance. Do you get it? So they told him that he had to get like £200 by the end of the week. They were just exploiting him because he's neurodivergent, and a lot of these guys, they're just nerds. They would never get like baddies like that. Do you know what I mean? So when they get a baddie, it's crazy. So is economic abuse framed as holiness? Christ abolished the transactional model completely. This is the theological dagger. Jesus overturned the financial system of the temple twice. He confronted the money changers. He rebuked those who turned worship into profit. That's when he flipped the tables in the marketplace. He ended the sacrificial economy with his life. So when you're doing up this religion, it's the total antithesis of who Christ is. That's how I know you're worshiping a Roman deity. He tore the veil, symbolizing access to God without priests, payment, or ritual costs. Oh, thank you, the new me fam. The Bible condemns spiritual maltreatment. Just watch Chris Reese make some good shorts. Oh, okay. And thank you, news fam on YouTube. Welcome, Instagram. Thank you so much for your support. Hey, Leah, is it all right if I can call you back? Yeah, who's that? Oh, yeah. Oh, at 9. Yeah, babe. Yeah. I've just remembered what it's about. Yeah, Hazel, call me on Instagram at 9, Queen. Yeah. So let's look at how Jesus overturned the financial system of the temple twice. He tore the veil, symbolizing access to God without priest, payment, or ritual cost. Jesus Christ said, my Father's house is not a marketplace. Absolutely. That's why I can't be in there. My house is a house of prayer now. My house is a temple for God, because the churches are so evil that now it's like I have to make my home into a temple, because it's not safe. The entire point of Christ's new covenant was no more intermediaries, no more payments, no more rituals, no more financial obligations, no more spiritual gatekeepers. He came to end that. You tore the veil, you made a way when you said that it is done. The church is like the world now. I'd actually argue and say it's worse. The new me, fam, it's worse than the world, because what I don't know if it's God has just put this Christ consciousness into the hemisphere in the world, not in the church, in the world. Because remember that it's like God's left them to their own reprobate minds. So now they're falling, they're destructing. It's mad, man, some mad psychology. So they don't have the consciousness. They think all those things are evil. So as the time goes on and the world flourishes, it turns more into a healing space. That's how people are naturally going to start leaving, because they're going to see that it's like a prison planet in there. Do you know what I mean? As the world starts to liberate themselves more, become more secular, become more of a healing world, people are going to see it for themselves. That's why they're just starting to eventually walk out. And the thing is, they could try and look as powerful as they want, this, that, and the third. It is sinking. The ship is sinking. People are waking up. People are jumping off that Titanic chair. The church is more a business instead of being about their Father's business. Yeah, it's all a business. They don't care. Okay, so if Christ ended the old system, why are church cults dragging survivors back into it? Because it enriches them. It feeds their ego. It pays for their life. They can have their luxurious lifestyles. That's why their bellies are all big. The next time you watch your pastor preaching, look at his belly. When was the last time you ate? He's not skipping no meals, baby. Whilst you're there starving to give your last. The real reason pastors mix sacrifice, tithing, it creates a financial pipeline. Cults teach sow your seed as sacrifice, but here's the truth. They merge sacrifice with money, because modern churches can't profit from cattle. They can't monetize wheat. They can't store barley. They can't resell fruit offerings. They can't run a mega church on olive oil. So they reinterpret everything as currency, not because God said so, but because capitalism said so. They still scamming. Oh, yeah. So they reinterpret everything as currency, not because God said so, but because capitalism said so. It's a spiritual pyramid scheme wearing a choir robe. Let's look at the true New Testament model of giving, the one they hide. Guys, is this validating? Are you feeling empowered? Are you feeling motivated? Are you feeling like you're on the right track? Are you feeling like this is exhilarating? Are you feeling freedom? Hey, are you feeling release? I'm loving it. So am I. All of a sudden, I'm just feeling this burst of like energy. Guys, I love you so much. Honestly, like, guys, the collective, you're my world. Honestly, ever since like the collective came into my life, yeah, I feel like I've been able to like leave the D. Like, I don't need to, like, I've dealt with all my trauma, like the man stuff. Because I started thinking, oh my God, I can't just leave the collective. If I get a rich man, that might take me away from the collective, because I like to get my back blown out. Oh my God, I love it, Chair. So once I do that, once he just gets it out, that's me. I'll be like, oh guys, I got to go now. Something's come up. So part of my sole purpose of what I had to start thinking about it, like, Chair, because I'm a lover girl. Do you know what I mean? So I can't be doing it. If this is resonating, can you say amen? Look at Marvin. Stop it, girl. All right. So the early church gave to widows, orphans, the poor, to those directly in need, to support communal survival, voluntary and relationally, not to maintain pastoral empires, not to build stages and LED screen lights. It's like they're like clubs now. If this is, oh look, the new me fam said yes, amen. Not to maintain, I've said that. Not to keep anyone in spiritual debt, and not to fund a man's lifestyle or ego. Giving was compassion, not coercion. Like when you look at the story that Jesus Christ tells about the widow's mite, this was the dismantling of the system, because they were expecting people to pay certain things and pay for purgatory and all of this. And Christ was saying, no, the widow's mite, she gave a penny. And in the sight of God and in the eyes of God, that was worth more than all of. They don't like stories like that, especially if you challenge them and say, why are you telling people to give £200? What if they don't have it because of the widow's mite? They'll call you a devil. They'll say to you, why are you speaking against the pastor? But that's scriptural. That's scriptural. So which one are you, pastor? Are you the devil, or are you are you, what is it? Because they've used so much psychology that we've got a lost generation, and the next generation is even worse. The Nagonis and all of that, they're even worse. They're even worse. And I'm not going to lie to you, the second generation, like the Breeny Lees, the Hayley Melindas, all of them gal there, the Sasha Elises, they're going to be the reason for the downfall of Christianity. Because as the time goes on, people are going to see what I'm saying is true. People are going to start seeing. In 10 years' time, you'll see Breeny on YouTube talking about divorce and this and that. She'll repackage herself. Remember, I told you the guy will cheat on her. I could see he's a dusty. Have you seen her engagement ring? It looks like I had to strain my eyes to see that engagement ring. I was like, girl, you marry someone broke. You desperate as hell. Them pick-me's, even in the interview, she was trying not to show the small ring. I was thinking, girl, even my ex-husband got me a bigger ring than that. And the ring's important. The ring is so important. Because if they don't, she's just a pick-me. Just got you anything, some little tiny ring. It's embarrassing. Her whole thing is embarrassing, but the pick-me's love it. They go and flock to it. The real question every survivor, and I was surprised to see that Breeny Lee and Hayley Melinda, they've always got these, even including the first ladies, they've got crystals on their hands. Crystals are evil. Why have you got a crystal on your finger? The real question every survivor eventually asks, if Christ came to rewrite the laws, then why are we still tithing? Why are we still sacrificing to institutions? Why are we still being guilt-tripped into funding hierarchy? Why do modern pastors live like kings while members live like hand to mouth? How many of us have had to use food banks? How many of us have had to, like, we're so stressed. We're like, how are we going to survive to the end of the month? And you're going to the church, the same church that brings in revenue, millions. Wake up and love your damn self. You know them ones. Because the system serves them, not God. The survivor truth, you were never required to sacrifice your money, mental health, sanity, family, well-being, body, obedience, identity, yourself for a leader. Your value was never tied to your giving. Never. Christ has never taught a doctrine or an ideological perspective about your value being tied to your giving and you being present and you working. Your healing is the real offering now. Your relationship with the divine, with God, whatever, was never meant to be mediated through money. Your truth is the real tithe. Your liberation is the real sacrifice, the kind Christ actually intended. And guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. Guys, I did have a little message for you. Do you want it? Because if you do, I got to go on my my AI and get it quickly. Do you want? Because I just feel like you lot are active. Like I feel like the people that are on, and just to let you guys know, yeah, we're just, remember, we're in this desert, yeah, the 40 days and 40 nights. Just as you're going through it, guys. Oh, you want it? Okay, I'll get it, guys. As you're going through it, and you know, life might be whatever. Remember, I said it's like a trauma response because you're coming out of being brainwashed, like being in a disassociative state. Now you're sitting with self and saying, oh my God, I'm getting all of these thoughts. This ain't normal. I need to go to my GP. Why am I living on this estate? I'm vulnerable. I could get a move. I could do, you know what I mean? We're all starting to wake up and fix up. We're starting to take our power back and we're starting to take our life back. I'm going to get it, guys. One sec. Because I did one. Okay. I just need to send it to myself on WhatsApp now. And then I'm going to go and get a chicken and chips because the chicken and chips is like, it's about free. Well, I don't know why that guy charges me extra. Today I'm going to have to ask him, oh, how much is the chicken? How much is the chips? Do you know what I'm saying? They always see me and think I'm some baller. We are coming out of the desert, girl. Yes, yes, yes. And we are transforming into the butterfly. We're in the cocoon stage and we're transforming into the butterfly. All right, guys. Okay. So the season that I believe that we're in, and guys, I'm going to use numerology because I'm not I'm not hiding myself anymore. All right. The clinical and psycho spiritual message for survivors. So as I was thinking about what to do, what to say, when to come on live, I saw 303 come up on my phone. So I put it through AI and I said, what message is there in this for the survivors today? Clinically, 303 represents a transition loop, the moment between breakdown and integration. In psychology, the pattern 303 mirrors a pendulation cycle. So the 3 represents activation. So something triggers you, stirs old wounds, and pushes you forward. So the trigger is like all of the hidden abuse, emotion, everything that's now coming to the surface, the iceberg moment. Then the 0 is the void. It's the nervous system which has entered a freeze or empty state to reorganize. Yeah, so we're reorganizing, recalibrating the nervous system. I don't promise it is going to be all right. I'm saying don't worry about the future and start living more in the now, the present. Absolutely. Absolutely. Living in the present has changed my life. And then the last 3 is the emergence. So it's you coming back online to self with a higher level of awareness. So this is literally what happens during trauma recovery. Your system swings between activation, emptiness, and reformation. So the system, it activates, you wake up to the abuse, the this, the that, the emptiness, and then comes the reformation, the recalibration of the neurosystem, putting in the work, reading the books, deconstructing. So this is a mirror of our entire community right now. Not broken, not failing, but moving through a natural trauma integration loop. It is a reminder the emptiness is not regression. The pause is not collapse. It's the nervous system reorganizing for the next level, but it feels messy. And remember, guys, the next level was dictated by them because they created the systems, the titles, the positions, the whatever. You know, we had to work really hard, but now it's not about that. It's just about relaxing and rest and recalibration. And our brain is saying, wait, because we've been programmed like you have to work for the Lord, work for the Lord. You have to be doing something, always in hyper vigilant, aroused state. So it's like when we come to this point where God is saying, actually, the power is in rest, the power is in silence, the power is in meditation, the power is in stillness. Our neurosystem, we're all going like that. We can't comprehend it or fathom it because everything's been about up and go, doing, working for the Lord. We were slaves. We're moving from like a slave mindset to a liberated mindset. That's what's happening. Because in order to control you, you've got to have a slave mindset in these church cults. They sit on their big gold thrones, come in like big kings. Everybody gasps, oh, Bishop Tag, I love you so much. It's like he's turned himself into a god. Psychologically, it's not about the words that come out of your mouth. It's about how you internalize that person in your psyche, my love. Yeah. And how that person replaces God in your psyche. It's about the programming. Okay. Psychology is deep. So cult psychology 303 is the breaking of the double bind. Cult survivors live for years inside double binds, contradictory messages like be loyal, but also sacrifice yourself. Be free in Christ, but obey the leader. How does that work? Be free in Christ, but obey the leader. Where the spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. And because they preach so much on Paulism, it's like you forget Christ's teachings, like the teaching of, the widow's mite and the Good Samaritan. And, all of the teachers, it's just Paulism. It's just rebuking the church of Corinthia. And because that's what they want to do. They're abusers in there. They're abusers. So Paulism, it resonates with them because they can use his scriptures to abuse people, Chair. That's why I said to you, instead of saying, which church should I go to? Go and get your backside the Bible, go and sit down pun floor to ground your blood clot self. Go into a calf and go and read the scriptures on Jesus. Then you'll be like me. You'll know more than them and make them look like for idiot on the internet. Go and do your blood clot studying. Go and learn to find God for your blood clot self, man. Come on, man. Don't complain, but also don't hide anything. Can you tell something more about your dreams to feed people? Oh, okay. I don't really get dreams. The thing is with the dreaming, I get dreams, but it's when God wants to speak to me specifically. So I don't get dreams often. I just get the dream when, say God wants to give me a chapter for my book that I'm not getting, or God will give me a dream. I don't get dreams all the time. No, Christianity was created by the Romans. I don't serve a Roman whitey Eurocentric deity called Jesus. I don't know, because that's a blonde haired, blue eyes. It was, yeah, it's set up by the whitey Romans. So I don't know. If you're a Christian, then you're lost, and you might want to go and deconstruct Christianity, because it's right in front of us. All the facts are there. So if you're not going to look for yourself at this point, you're just ignorant. Yeah. So 303 clinically reflects the moment a person steps out of the double bind, enters the zero space, and begins to rebuild identity without coercion. So you've got to move away from religion. You've got to leave the religious high control environment. How are you going to be free and start to build your nervous system back up when you're going back to environments that trigger you? And it's like the PTSD is coming back. Because there's a survivor that kept going back to the church. Of course it's going to, because you got PTSD. Your trigger is the cult. The reason your mum was putting hands on you, your dad was putting hands on you, is because of the spiritual psychosis that they are in as a result of going to the church cult. And then you're going back to it because you've learned abuse is love. That's how you've been programmed. And then you wonder why you're not getting well. And then you wonder why you go into relapses every 3 to 6 months and want to top yourself. You wonder why. The first part, an alcoholic has to admit they're an alcoholic. You need to admit, I was in a cult. Whatever, the Pentecostalism, this church, Jehovah's Witness, 7-day Adventist, it is a cult. You have to say, I was in a cult. My mother or my father is in a cult. You've got to say it. It's the first step. Telling yourself a lie, it ain't going to help you, babe. It ain't going to help you. You're just going to keep going around in these cycles, chat, and eventually lose your mind one day. That's why if you notice in these church cults, a lot of people end up just losing their mind, or becoming like overweight, lethargic. Like, it's sad. It's sad. The women, there's no femininity, there's no beauty. Even if they're a pretty girl, like, look at me when I was in the cult. Even if they're a pretty girl, they just rinse them out. There's no femininity, there's no happiness, it's sad, man. So the middle zero that stands in between the two threes, which is holding it, it's like, because numbers have vibrations. It's very powerful. It symbolizes the gap you never had in the cult. Wow, that's powerful, isn't it? The space to think, breathe, question, feel, and choose without punishment. Oh my God, I'm so glad I did this numerology. For survivors, 303 says, I said 304. For survivors, 303 says, you're in the space between who you were in the cult and who you are becoming now. That's deep. So we're in the space between who you were in the cult and who you're becoming now. It's not confusion. It's decompression from psychological captivity. Wow. It's not confusion. It's decompression from psychological captivity. And guys, if you weren't on my live earlier, Becca, are you still here, babe? Watch the YouTube. There's a live that I did before this. I've spoken all about healing, how it will feel like you're not doing anything when you're healing, but really you are, because it's internal. It's all our organs, our autoimmune bits and pieces that are healing, because it's not physical. Can't see it on the outside. That's why I've had to go into metaphysics and quantum mechanics. I thought you wanted to help a center or something. Can you tell something more about your dream? Oh, my dreams to feed people. Oh, sorry, Marve. Oh yeah, I want to follow the Sikh structure of how they do things, where they just have an open kitchen. So once I get the funding and I get my community space, I will have like an open kitchen that's a part of, like, people can come in and eat together, but also homeless people off the street could just come and get food. People who might suffer from mental health. I just want to have like some sort of soup kitchen, man. And I cook well. Me and my mom cook so well. It would just be like maybe like a lentil soup, because the Sikhs do it with lentil soup, and then I think it's some sort of bread, and yeah, it's lovely. It would just be more like unleavened bread as well, like food that has spiritual purpose and meaning, and also food that's going to nourish the soul and nourish and help with the nervous system, especially when people are homeless. They don't really get fresh produce, do they? So I want to feed them. I want to help them, and that's what Christ is all about. It's not about the numbers, guys, and building all of these buildings and systems. What about the people outside hurting? These pastors are in their big cars driving past all the homeless people on the street. That's not how that Christ won't like that, man. No. That Jesus that they're teaching in the mega churches and the Pentecostalism, that's the Roman God. That's a deity. That's why they tell you to call upon his name and stuff. It's a deity. That's how it works with deities. You're working with deities. It aligns with the Christ in the desert meaning that we just explored not long ago. The first three, everything falling away. So the first three, that where we're looking at 303 as the number that carries vibration, that's everything falling away. Then the 0 is the desert void, the inner death, the recalibration. And then the second 3 is the resurrection of consciousness, identity, and clarity. Wow, resurrection of consciousness. Shit, man, this is powerful, man. This is what ChatGPT generated. It aligns with the Christ in the, oh, we've done that. This isn't mystical. This is archetypal psychology, the universal death rebirth pattern that happens in trauma healing, spiritual awakening, and identity reintegration. So when survivors see or feel 303 energy, they're not receiving a cosmic message. They're reorganizing their own psychological pattern. Wow. So what do we all need to hear right now? And I'm just getting to the end of this now, guys. We've had a nice full 2-hour live. So what do we really need to hear right now? If your life feels like it has fallen apart, slowed down, or emptied out, you are not failing. You are in the 0 space. The part cult leaders never let you have, the type of the space of stillness, to rest, to meditate, to hear from God, relaxation. The 303 pattern is your nervous system repairing itself. Your identity is rewiring. Your spirit is recalibrating. You are stepping out of the double bind and into self-sovereignty. This pause is not punishment. The void is not a setback. It is the desert before the elevation. The desert before the transformation, before the reconfiguration. Do you know what I mean? Transfiguration. Woo. And then I just want to say as well, when things are not moving as much, or because in the cult, everything's about moving. You've got to be moving. You've got to get bums or seats. So win it. Just come into stillness and just stop in. Your nervous system will literally, it will be malfunctioning. You'll feel like you're going absolutely crazy because you've gone from to just, oh shit, where am I now? So you are not going backwards. You are being rebuilt. You are not going backwards. You are being rebuilt. And on that note, I'm going to leave it. Guys, I might be back later. You never know. Oh, look, 17. Confirmation. I love you all. It's a bit of mixed emotions, isn't it, guys? Because it is crazy. Like, we are like really healing now, isn't it? Like the healing work, like it's really coming in now. We're really getting our freedom and our healing. But it's beautiful, guys. Oh, I'm good. Thank you, Christina. It's a beautiful phase that we're going through. And guys, I really, really hope that this live has helped. YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, please. And make sure that you follow me, guys, on TikTok. And also, I just want to just quickly say that my book is coming out in March 2026 of next year. And this book is going to transform lives. Everything that I'm sharing on my lives moving forward, they're parts, bits of the book. And that's what I'm going to be doing as I go on the live. And it also helps to shape and frame my book. So that will be coming out. And guys, guys, you're getting a lot for your money. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, man. Because it's a lot, man. It's a complete full like survivor's guide manual. It's absolutely amazing what God has given me. You know, as I'm getting these downloads and I'm spending this time in stillness and whatever, I'm just sitting back and I'm just like, I'm just in awe. God is just a marvel. And there's so many scriptures that I'm understanding now that my next book is going to be Christ, the hidden veil behind something. I don't know, his teachings or something, because there's too much emphasis on Paul in these cults. I want to bring back Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we learn about Christ a bit more? Like in this life, you've learned more about Christ consciousness, the mindset of Christ, the true meanings behind the scriptures. You've learned more than you've ever learned years and years in the church cult. Imagine that. And this is why you can't deny the truth, and the truth will always set you free. It's nice to pass fruits and it's not so expensive to give something back when you want to achieve other goals. Yeah. Even like I want to start doing this thing where I feed the homeless on the street, just like independently. I'm going to start doing that as well, because I used to do that. I used to make them soup in the winter. So it's about your heart, man. And that was when I was in the church cult. So there's just some evil people in there. They don't care about anyone else but themselves. And the husbands are all cheating, so they don't give a damn about their family. If the majority of these husbands, yeah, were given like 20 million pounds and they had to escape, and they said, look, you've got 20 million pounds, you can either take your wife or your girlfriend and kids and start a new life and get a new identity. Who are you taking? He's taking the mistress. I love you. On that note, I'm gonna go. That's for all of you washed up wives in there. I hope you liked that one. I might be back later. Love you. And I didn't get any restrictions. Oh my god, this boy just came up on my phone. He looked just like my little brother. All right, guys, let me go and rest. Oh no, Miss El Rose, I've been on here for 2 hours. Oh no, Miss El Rose, I told you to give me your number though, because if I've got your number, I'll send you the link to the when I'm on, girl. That's how the survivors know when I'm on, because you know me, I'm just like my mental health chair. I can't have no times I'm coming on chair. But Miss El Rose, no, don't put the broken hearted sign. Girl, go and watch this after. Watch it after, because Miss El Rose, you were meant to come on for me to tell you to watch it. Have a blessed one. It's my first time here. God bless you, daughter of God. Oh, thanks, babe. Bye, Insta. I love you. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, babe. I love YouTube. I think you guys are so lovely. All right, I'm going to go and eat. Miss El Rose, listen to me, yeah? I might be coming back on later. If I come back on later, it will be around, I want to say maybe 7 or a bit after 9. But it depends how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like I've got some energy back now. So we'll see. I need to eat something properly. All right, love you. Miss El Rose, watch this live back, babe, because this is a powerful one. I love you guys. See you later. Alligator. Bye. Love you all.